Assalamualaikum students. This is Farooq Gill here, your English teacher, and this is the course which is named as English Comprehension and Composition, semester 2 in the VS level. Okay, so first of all, I would like to just introduce that course, that is comprehension and composition. So it will be required to understand both of these words before starting the course. So you people might have faced both of these words throughout your educational career. So I hope you people are aware about the meaning of these two words. So comprehension is a noun and that is extracted from the word comprehend, which is grammatically a verb, which means to understand. So, if we attach that word comprehension to reading, so that is reading comprehension. So, throughout this course or the initial half of this course will help us, will guide us, will teach us to improve our skills through which we can make our reading comprehension better. So, with the help of this course, we will be able to understand reading text in a better way. It will help us to improve our reading skills and improve our reading comprehension. And the second word is composition. Composition means to compose something, to produce something. So, this course, this subject will also guide us how to compose the written text, in what way we can produce a written text. So, I'll use the book produced by G.M. Shahid, that is Learner Communication Skills, and this is chapter number 1, page number 38 at my book. That is the second portion of the book. So you'll also have to use this book while listening these lectures, so that you will be able to link or associate my lecture with the text. So in this book, at the introduction level, writer says that reading is to mind what exercise is to body. So to keep our body healthy, we need exercise. In the same way, to keep our brain is a biological phenomena and mind is a psychological phenomena. So to keep our mind active, to keep our mind working, we need reading. As much we read, that much we'll proceed all those thoughts into our minds, and we'll be able to understand the text, we'll be able to understand the word. Okay, so we have to practice reading, we have to keep ourselves indulged in the activity of reading. Okay, so as the book proceeds, we'll also find the same approach. So at the page number 38, writer just guides us how to understand a paragraph. Writer has divided a paragraph into three sections. In the same way, we'll also divide the paragraph into three sections when we will reach at the level of composition, writing composition. So the there is a phenomena that is called topic sentence. Okay? Topic sentence, we can also make this division in the form of introductory sentence, discussion, and conclusion. So, topic sentence or theme sentence contains the whole idea of the paragraph. So while reading something, we have to find the topic sentence or thematic sentence of the paragraph, so that we'll be able to identify the whole idea of that paragraph. So topic sentence expresses the main idea of the paragraph, that is key or theme sentence. As the book says, theme means mozu, topic. So topic sentence can appear at several points in the paragraph. It can be found at the beginning of the paragraph, that is the most frequent style of writing. It might be found in the middle of the sentence, but that is not practiced usually in academic situations. And that is also found in the end of the paragraph as the last sentence. So you will have to perform few activities. Just take some text and read the text and try to find out what is the topic sentence or thematic sentence of that paragraph, which contains the whole idea, that sentence by which you can get the meaning of the whole paragraph. Got that? Okay. So you'll have to go through page number 38 and read all those bold and underlined text. So now I'll move towards the page number 39. At the lower half of this page you can see a topic that is underlined, and that is distinguishing between relevant and irrelevant information. Okay, so while reading text, we have to find that what is important for us and what is not. So if we'll keep that approach in our mind, we will not have to read the whole text, because if we don't have any aim in our reading, if we don't have any purpose in the reading, then we'll just strangle in the whole text. If we have some purpose in mind, that will guide us to read the proper thing. In the same way, writer extends the writings, and we can see that some extra and additional information is also given in the text. So whenever reading any scientific text or whenever reading any academic text, we have to distinguish, we have to differentiate between relevant and irrelevant information. You can see on page number 40 what are the different keys through which we can differentiate and find out relevant and irrelevant information. Okay, so relevant information includes author, means who is saying something, who wrote that. As if we just talk about physics and we say the theory of relativity. So, who gave that theory of relativity? That would be an important thing. So, author is important, title is important, reason is important, purpose, theme, keywords, link words, and all major aspects. Okay, so these are the relevant information and these are the important aspects. So, less important aspects are introduction, summary, repetition. Means all those ideas which have been discussed in the past, those will also be repeated there. So, we have to find out that this thing has been discussed earlier, so there is no need to repeat that again. So there are examples are also usually additional things, but we do need the examples to understand the phenomena. So if you have understood the phenomena, you have no need to consult the example. But if there is any need to consult the example, you will have to consult that for better understanding. Okay, so there is a word that means anecdotes. Anecdotes means usually events referred for the purpose of understanding and exemplification. And next thing is analogy. Analogy means to relate something. Analogy means to link or compare something with other to understand the things. As we just आपने वो बात सुनी होगी ना, उर्दू में होता है तशबीह और इस्तारा, इंग्लिश में बोलते हैं सीमिली और मेटाफर। वो जो सीमिली होता है उसको हम एनालॉजी समझ सकते हैं। सीमिली में क्या किया जाता है, एक चीज को दूसरी चीज के साथ कंपेयर और रिलेट किया जाता है। मसलन मेरा शेर जैसा बेटा। सो In the English we use the word like or as, like sun, like moon, like lion. Okay, next thing is cohesive devices. So first of all you will need to understand what is meant by cohesion. अच्छा जी, आप देखो जब आप एक पैराग्राफ लिखते हो, ठीक है, तो पैराग्राफ को कि फर्स्ट सेंटेंस को दूसरे सेंटेंस के साथ लिंक किया जाता है, ठीक है, उसमें एक रिलेशन दिख रहा होता है। जैसे फर्ज करो आप एक पैराग्राफ लिखते हो, उसमें आप लिखते हो कि अली इज माय टीचर, और दूसरा पैराग्राफ, दूसरी लाइन उसी पैराग्राफ में लिखते हो कि ही इज अ डॉक्टर। सो आपने जो ही लिखा है वो रिफर कर रहा है अली को, ठीक है, तो दोनों में एक रब्त है, दोनों में एक रिलेशन है, दैट रिलेशन इज कॉल्ड कोहेजन, ठीक है जी। सो वही कोहेसिव डिवाइसेस होती हैं। यहाँ ये जो प्रोनाउन है ये भी एक कोहेसिव डिवाइसेस है। इसके अलावा आपकी जितनी कंजंक्शंस होती हैं वो जो सेंटेंसेस को जोड़ने के लिए इस्तेमाल होती हैं वो भी कोहेसिव डिवाइसेस कहलाती हैं। आपको चेक करना पड़ेगा, आपने फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर में पढ़ा होगा कंजंक्शंस पार्ट्स ऑफ स्पीच का हिस्सा हैं, जिसमें सबऑर्डिनेट कंजंक्शंस हैं और कोऑर्डिनेट कंजंक्शंस हैं। ये सारे की सारी क्या करती हैं, ये लिंक करती हैं सेंटेंस के पहले पार्ट को दूसरे पार्ट के साथ। उसके अलावा जब हम कोहेजन की बात करते हैं तो यहाँ पर हमें दो चीजें और दिखती हैं, एनाफोरा और कैटाफोरा। एनाफोरिक रेफरेंसेस होते हैं, कैटाफोरिक रेफरेंसेस होते हैं। ये आप नेट से चेक करोगे तो आपको मजीद समझ आ जाएगी और आपकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग बेहतर हो जाएगी, ठीक है। तो हमें इन कोहेसिव डिवाइसेस को भी समझना होता है ताकि हम अंडरस्टैंड कर सकें टेक्स्ट किस तरह से प्रोसीड कर रहा है, ठीक है जी। तो अभी तक हमने आपको क्या पढ़ाया, हमने आपको इंट्रोड्यूस करवाया कि क्या मतलब है कंपोजिशन का और क्या मतलब है कॉम्प्रीहेंशन का। उसके बाद हमने आपको पैराग्राफ का स्ट्रक्चर बताया कि वो सेंटेंस फाइंड आउट करना है जिसमें थीमेटिक सेंटेंस है, जो जिसमें सारे पैराग्राफ का थीम चल रहा है। अगर हम वो एक सेंटेंस फाइंड आउट कर लेंगे, समझ लेंगे, तो हम सारा पैराग्राफ समझना हमारे लिए आसान हो जाएगा। उसके बाद हमने आपको इम्पोर्टेंट और लेस इम्पोर्टेंट या रेलिवेंट और इरेलीवेंट इंफॉर्मेशन के दरमियान फर्क बताया, जो कि हमारे पढ़ने के लिए बेहतर होगा, जिसको हम फॉलो करें तो हम बेहतर रीडिंग कर सकते हैं। और उसके बाद आपको बताया कि जी क्या मतलब है कोहेजन का और कोहेसिव डिवाइसेस का। अगर आपको किसी किस्म का मसला हो तो आप मुझसे पूछ सकते हो। इसके बाद हम इंशाल्लाह नेक्स्ट लेक्चर आपके साथ जल्द शेयर करेंगे। थैंक यू, अल्लाह हाफिज़।